He shot and killed Jennie, and then he turned the gun and killed himself.
That could be why their energy is trapped here. To be buried with your murderer is just gut-wrenching.
So if you can hear us, we would love for you to be able to show that you can still interact with our world.
Whoa. John, what did you do to your wife?
You guys actually are the very first group to come in here and investigate.
Whoa, dude. Can you try it again?
Wow. Mr. Stark, did you hear that?
That's crazy. We know exactly where all of the deaths for the potential hauntings happened. Oh, geez, are you okay?
Rosedale, Indiana. Today, a charming and quiet little town of less than 900 people that sits just 16 miles north of Terre Haute. Since its founding, one thing that really hasn't changed in Rosedale is the close bond the community has. And that's why 119 years ago, this town was rocked to its core by a tragedy that includes secrets, infidelity, rage, and murder that the people of Rosedale still remember to this day. We're here today to learn exactly what happened and if the ghosts of those who died still haunt the old Stark Saloon to this day.
My name is Steve Chikeen. I'm the business manager for the Sanatorium LLC. We operate the Indiana State Sanatorium, Billy Creek Village, and Stark Saloon. This saloon was built in the late 1890s, and it operated as a saloon and a brothel.
The saloon was a family business built by John Stark when he retired from the coal mine. Half of the building was the saloon, serving liquor and entertainment to the city of Rosedale, while the other half was the family home, where he lived with his wife Jane, who was known by her friends as Jennie, and their 5 children. This family would later be torn apart by lust, leaving the 5 young children orphans.
This is a rehab in progress, right? You guys are...
Yeah, sort of. This is a rehab we have not started yet.
Okay.
This is the condition the house was in when we bought it.
Okay.
Roughly 8 months ago.
Okay.
You guys actually are the very first group to come in here and investigate outside of the people that work for us.
Really?
So, all right, so we're gonna walk through. So this was their living room, their dining room, their kitchen, and then through the hallway here, upstairs. At the turn of the century, the Stark family that lived here, Jonathan and Jennie were married. They were in their late 20s and they had 5 kids under the age of 8.
Wow.
Jennie's sister came to help her because she was overwhelmed with the kids, and so there were a lot of people that lived here.
When Jennie's sister Bertha moved in, she was only 17, but immediately John took a liking to her, and it wouldn't take long before they began their secret love affair.
And someone lived in this home until like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, so I'm surprised at the condition that it's in.
Yeah. Wow.
When we took over, it had only been vacant for, like I said, a few years. It seems like it's been vacant for 20, but it's only been a handful.
The saloon and the family home were separate, and the bar operated very publicly. But upstairs, above the saloon, there was an illegal business, hidden from plain sight, behind a wall that even the family home couldn't access.
And this hole was put here later, so you can access this room from the inside. But at the time, this was all sealed off, and this is the secret hidden brothel, which today is not very awe-inspiring.
But it's so weird to think that the kids would have been right over here,
Yeah.
and then they'd be having an active brothel in the
Yeah.
same building, just
Yeah,
hidden
yeah, yeah.
behind the the
And then you can see behind this smokestack, the smokestack was put in later, there's a door there.
Oh, yeah.
That door leads to like a 1900 version of a fire escape, which I believe was covered with bushes, and so you really couldn't see it. And that was the only access to get into this room.
Maybe running this secret brothel gave John the confidence that Jennie would accept his infidelity. Or maybe he just planned on keeping it a secret forever. But Jennie did find out, because Bertha was pregnant, and now there was no way to hide the affair.
And Jennie lost her mind. Like, you slept with my sister, I'm out of here. So she left, and she went to Illinois somewhere and stayed with an aunt. And so John was here with his now 6 kids, and the sister that he didn't really like that much. He preferred his wife.
Jennie went to live in Illinois with her aunt for months, but being away from her home and her children was too much for her to bear. So she wrote a letter to John, agreeing to come home as long as Bertha left and never came back.
So he promised that he would relocate the sister, and so his wife did come back and come back to the house here, the saloon. In the meantime, her aunt that she was staying with wrote a letter to John and basically said, your wife's been whoring around town, all the women want her gone, she slept with a whole bunch of the men in town, and she can't stay here anymore. You need to do something about this. And she mailed it to him. But the letter was accidentally mailed to his father, also named John. So John Stark Sr. opened up the letter and read it and said, oh, this isn't for me, this is for my son. Finished the letter, and he said, man, if I give this letter to my son, he's gonna kill the poor girl. But I don't want to interfere with the US mail, that would be a crime.
At the same time, John Sr. was receiving and reading this letter. His son and Jennie were reuniting, and for the first time in months seemed happy as they walked around town, smiling and laughing. But as they passed his father's store, John Sr. called his son over and gave him the letter.
I don't want to interfere with the mail, so here you go. But my suggestion is you don't read it. Just trust me on that. So what do you think John Jr. did? He opened up the letter and read it, of course.
As the story goes, upon returning from their walk, right in the middle of the saloon, John read this letter.
And I don't know if it happened in this saloon while it was open, but I was told that it was, that he came in here, there were patrons here, he shot and killed Jennie, and then he turned the gun and killed himself.
A wave of disgust overtook the town, and all of it was directed at poor young Bertha. Meanwhile, John Sr. felt the weight of his guilt. He believed that giving his son that letter killed them both. That guilt led him to give Bertha 40 cents for a train ticket out of town. Bertha went to Terre Haute with her baby and was never seen or heard from again.
So then they buried John and Jennie, coincidentally, in the same grave, which is about 3 blocks from here. We're gonna go there next. We found the tombstone that says their names and that they died on the same day, and they buried them in the same grave, so.
But later, another interview would cast doubt on the letter's actual impact on the tragedy. One of the first men to discover the crime scene was John's friend, Ike Laney, and Ike claimed that John had planned to kill Jennie since she left him after discovering the pregnancy. John apparently told Ike, quote, when I do kill her, they'll have no trouble with me. All they have to do is dig a hole and put us in it, for I'll be dead too. I'll make a good job of it. And even went as far as to say, if they couldn't live together, they could die together and bring their troubles to an end. The true motive that led John to these tragic events was taken to his grave.
We just made it here to the cemetery here, and Steve told us that the grave site of John and Jennie Stark is here. And it's interesting, it'll be interesting to see their gravesite because there was a lot of controversy behind that. She is buried with her murderer. Yeah, there's a surreal feeling to that.
There really is, yeah. Not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah.
You don't think it was farther in the back area?
Oh, you know what? I think you're right.
All right, so we're still out here trying to find the gravesite of John and Jennie.
Because it said in the article that they were buried in a plot together, and if you think about that, to be buried with your murderer is just absolutely, just gut-wrenching.
Over here.
Oh, wait. Steve's calling us over. I think he found it.
John D. died in 1903. Jane, his wife, 1903. Well, this is it right here. John D. and Jennie, his wife. So this would be 27, 30 years old, and she was 23, 26.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
This is the perfect way for us to begin our investigation tonight. Standing here, in the spot they've both been buried for 119 years with the rest of John's family, really makes you think. In the last century, how many people have walked by their final resting place and not even thought about the stories of these people? That's why paranormal investigation is so important to us. Even if we go in the saloon tonight and we capture nothing, we still had the opportunity to tell the story of these people who have been forgotten for over 100 years. And now, maybe one of you who's watching this will find yourself in Rosedale, Indiana, at the cemetery, and stop by to pay your respects or leave Jennie flowers, and she won't be forgotten anymore. In the end, that's what's most important.
All right, we're back from the cemetery. And before we get started with the investigation and go into night vision, we wanted to go back into the saloon room here to explore the tragedy of what happened between John and his wife, Jane or Jennie, even further. So let's walk in here.
Let's check it out.
Watch your step in here. So, we do know that that particular day in 1903, they were actually having a date. Jane or Jennie had returned from her aunt's house to rekindle the relationship with John, and they were, by all appearances, happy. But whenever they got here to the bar, to the saloon, that happiness turned to rage. And right here up against this wall was the wood-burning stove. And from the sketch that the newspapers did back in 1903, they said, in relation to that wood-burning stove, which would have been right here, her body was found right here in the corner. And then, according to that sketch, in relation to where he was, the end of the bar would have been over here, and this is where he shot from, was from right here.
Right. Yeah, they said in the article that it was a distance of just 7 feet between them. So if I stand here and you stand there, that's pretty much...
Yeah, it's about 7 feet.
Yeah.
And what's wild about it is by all appearances, this is the original wooden floor. And we talk about residual energy or the relation to that energy in hauntings. Their blood literally soaked into this wooden floor that day, and that could be why their energy is trapped here inside this saloon. So I'm ready to get started with this investigation. I am ready to pull the cameras out, switch over to night vision, use investigative equipment to try and see if the energy of the tragedy that occurred here at the Stark Saloon in Rosedale, Indiana, will still reoccur and speak to us tonight. Are you ready, Dave?
I am ready. I think this is going to be kind of a first for us. You know, I don't think we've ever investigated a saloon before, and we've never really investigated a saloon where we know exactly where all of the deaths for the potential hauntings happened. And I'm excited to, like you said, get this stuff set up and get ready to go.
Let's do it. All right, we are getting ready to leave for abandonment. We're going to leave the building completely empty with cameras rolling throughout to see what happens when we're gone, when this saloon and brothel is completely empty. Now, to start with, in this room, this is the most important room to investigate here and later. So we have the millimeter set up where John took his own life. Over here, we have the REM pod set up where his wife Jane would have died after she was shot by her husband John. We have a cat ball here, but we also have the ghost tube rolling right in between them. So that energy concoction, that back and forth, right in that path is the ghost tube, and hopefully it'll pick up something relevant while we are gone. On the opposite side of the building, we actually have a camera set up at the top of the stairs, pointing down the stairs, but also it is wide angle enough to get that full upstairs hallway. We have the paranormal music box set up on the banister pointing down that hallway, and if anything walks up and down that hallway that it is a different temperature than the ambient environment, that music box will start playing music. Over in the brothel, which was once hidden but is now exposed, that brothel room, we have a camera set up in there with the EDI plus meter as well as a cat ball in there in case anything moves it. So
What happened to me?
that's what we're hoping to find out. If you could please...
Martin.
Say garden?
Martin.
Martin. That's what we're hoping to find out. If you could please tell us what happened to you, what happened between, if this is John, tell us why you murdered Jane. And if this is Jane, tell us what happened between you and your husband that caused so much anger and rage and animosity. So we're going to leave the building to you for a little bit, and we'll be back soon. We hope you talk to us.
Wound. Cursed.
Beautiful. Whoa, dude.
That wasn't you?
No, REM pod's going off
Okay, I'm getting there.
right in the doorway. We're setting up. We're currently setting up for this first session right here, and we're setting up equipment, and I just put the REM pod down, walked away. Of course, it had stopped, and then it just starts to go off like someone went over and touched it again. Ms. Stark, is that you? Jane?
I'm gonna pass by.
Okay, so we are getting ready to start our investigation of the Stark Saloon here in Rosedale, Indiana. The REM pod already went off very, very briefly. This is our first time actually investigating in here, and we are pretty much the first team, other than those that are affiliated and employed here, that is getting to investigate this building. So we're really excited to see what we can get, but because it is brand new, there's a lot of broken windows, there's a lot of contamination from neighbors, things that could contaminate our evidence. So for right now, we're gonna try and rely on ITC, or instrumental transcommunication. We're gonna use things like a spirit box, filtered through what's called a mini portal. It's an amplifier with guitar pedals. that is going to filter out that sweeping that we always hear with the spirit box. If there's anyone here with us, my name is Ryan and this is Dave, right over there. Can you come out and speak to us? Tell us your name? Or possibly pour us a drink? We've had a long day. We'd love to have a drink in your saloon, Mr. Stark. Yeah, we're ready now. Whenever you are, sir, what do you have available for us to drink? The bar's right over here, right?
John, what did you do to your wife?
Taylor?
Can you please tell us what your name is through the radio?
Mr. Stark, did you hear that?
I didn't. That's crazy.
That is creepy. Mr. Stark, did you hear that?
I didn't.
To have a name come through so clearly is absolutely amazing. But when it matches the name of the murderer who died just feet away from where we're standing, it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Mr. Stark, did you hear that?
I didn't.
And right before we captured Mr. Stark's name, a voice came through talking about the children. Could a dispute over the 5 kids have added fuel to the rage that led to this horrific crime?
I seriously, I have to replay that back, but I swear I heard Mr. Stark.
Wow. Mr. Stark, are you here?
Mr. Stark, there were a lot of people that had a lot of bad things to say about you. About 119 years ago. Right here in this spot where I'm standing was where your wife was shot. Why did you do that? Do you remember a friend named Ike? You know, Ike told the newspapers that you had told him that you were going to kill her no matter what. That you said that if you couldn't be together in life, that you would be together in death. What did that just say?
I don't know. I'm not sure. What was the room above us used for?
don't seem to be getting anything through here anymore that's discernible. It all seems to be very jumbled and sounds like interference and that sort of thing. But we did have a couple voices come through that we're kind of curious. We'll have to review them and determine their legitimacy, whether they actually said what we thought they said. But I swore I thought that one voice, when you asked what their name was, I swore it said Mr. Stark.
Yeah, I'm interested to listen back to that and see what it said.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Did you hear that upstairs?
I did not.
Did you hear that upstairs? Did you hear that upstairs?
I did not.
If anyone from the Stark family is here, my name is Ryan and that's Dave, and in my hand, I have something that is kind of like a camera. You may remember it because they were very new when you lived here. But if you stand in front of me, I may be able to see you. It's like a portrait or a picture, photograph. Is there anyone being entertained by the ladies of the night in here this evening? Is there anyone here working? This is Dave and I'm Ryan, and we came here tonight looking for a good time. We heard this is where the ladies of the night hung out. Is that true?
How come this room was sealed off? I set up a music box for whoever might be up here. John, what did you do to your wife?
We don't mean you any harm. We're not trying to make you perform for us. We're not trying to disrespect you in any way. We just want you to tell your story and what happened. This was...
Wait. Did you hear that?
No.
I heard like
someone was moving inside.
Wait, it sounded like a chair or like a door or something being moved.
We don't mean you any harm. We're not trying to make you perform for us. We're not trying to disrespect you in any way. We just want you to tell your story and what happened. Disrespect you in any way. We just want you to tell your story and what happened.
We just want to tell your story is my point that I'm getting to. Humanity wants to know what happens after you die. And you have a very unique perspective to be able to tell us. So if you can hear us, we would love for you to be able to show that you can still interact with us. Interact with our world.
Whoa. REM pod. Right? Whoa. Yes. Interact with our world.
Thank you. Can you do something else to help show us? Can you touch that again for us?
It's just a fun party trick. Can you try that again?
What is your name?
My name is Dave.
And I'm Ryan. What's yours?
That's the only time that's going off all night. As far as we know.
Except for that little blip at the beginning of the last session.
That's true.
But that was strong. That was a strong alarm. Should we go back down and do a sweep? Yeah, let's go down. Let's go down there. We can come back up here. Let's go down there and see if we can sweep down there.
Okay.
Since there's activity down there.
Protect.
We're coming down.
Okay.
We're coming down.
Can you touch that noisemaker again for us?
Dude.
Thank you.
Is there any figures in there? I don't know. Hold on. Let me go around this way. I don't want to blind that camera.
Right.
Hello. Do me a favor and step down on that second to last step.
My
Dave.
baby.
My baby.
Whoa. I'm gonna heavy set the last few stairs.
Okay. No. That's so weird.
That is.
Literally, as soon as I got to the bottom of the stairs and asked if anyone was in there, it went off again.
Oh, jeez, are you okay?
Yep, I'm good. Here, give me the... I threaded the needle on that one.
Be careful.
It did not just say that.
Oh, God.
It did
I'm
not.
good. But... Oh, thank you. Thank you, whoever is here.
Oh, jeez, are you okay?
Yep.
Don't do it again.
I'm not going to, trust me.
Do we need to take a break for a minute?
No, keep going. We're getting activity.
Okay.
I'm just walking it off. I'll pick up the SLS again here in a second.
What happened? Was that funny?
Nod.
Not funny.
Wow, this is crazy.
Thank you for not finding that funny. And thank you for being concerned about me.
If you are communicating with us, can you make the noisemaker go off again? The party trick on the chair?
The worst part of that was my foot, believe it or not.
I'm sure.
But not the foot that went in the hole.
Really?
No. The foot that was still up here when my other leg was in the basement. I felt like I snapped it in half. My whole leg is shaking.
I'm sure.
But I'm good. This is just a warning for everyone who does this. When you go in these buildings, remember, you're assuming the risk of going in. Just be prepared that sometimes things may happen, and that's a good example of something that may happen if you enter some of these old, decrepit buildings that need restoration. So, shout out to everyone that's doing work to restore this building.
Yeah, we were warned. So.
And we were warned many times, and we're the ones that are still walking around here without a flashlight, so.
Are you okay?
Dude.
I thank you so much for whoever this is that is very concerned about me. I greatly appreciate it. That's one way to do it. Good thinking, Dave.
Yeah.
You got that flashlight on you?
On me? No.
No.
I do have my phone in airplane mode, though.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's a bad one. Whoo, buddy. Yeah.
Right.
What about the leg?
Oh, the leg didn't really hit. The leg went straight through. The arm is what hit on the...
Lord.
Gotta love it. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like bleeding through my shirt because I knew there was some scuffage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna sting in the morning.
All of me is gonna hurt in the morning, but that's all right. That's what it means to be alive.
That is right.
Whoa.
What in the world?
Rolling. The millimeter was just going off.
Whoa.
I know.
You like that one? Can you try it again?
Wow.
Thank you. Hey, since you're here listening and you can hear me talking, Ryan's going to be asking you a bunch of questions here in a minute. And I'm going to have a radio. I want you to answer me, okay? If you understand, can you make that light up really bright again? Okay. I'm coming over.
Thank you. Give your answers to Dave,
I'm going to pick
and
up
then
my
we'll
stuff.
talk. That was Dave grabbing the stuff from around it.
I'm going to sit down here right beside you. Notice how it's not continuing to go.
Right, that's weird.
Blindfold on. All right, Ryan, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Headphones are going on now.
All right. If there's anyone here with me, my name is Ryan, and that is Dave right back there. And we came a long way to speak to you. Someone was talking to me just a few minutes ago. You told me to be careful when I fell through the floor. You asked if I was okay. And I just wanted to say, to start this session off with, whoever that was, if you were the one that was making that box say those things, those genuine questions of concern, that I greatly appreciate it.
There was a very low male voice. I could not make it out.
Is this Mr. Stark? We came here to try and discover and discuss a tragedy that happened here 119 years ago, over 119 years ago.
Sounded like it said me.
I will say that we're not here to judge anyone. We're not here to cast judgment on anyone's actions.
I thought I just felt something touch my left index finger.
Who was it that just touched Dave? If you're trying to get as close to him as you can, please do that. But in the same note, we're also not here to condone anything that was done. We want you to understand that what was done was horrendous and that, Mr. Stark, you had no right to do what you did to Jane. You didn't have a right to take her life. I guess, most of all, what I'd like to ask Mr. Stark is, do you regret what you did? Why are you not wanting to communicate with us anymore? Why are you not wanting to talk to us anymore? Is there anything that you'd like to say about life and death? Is there anything you'd like to say about life after death?
It sounded like it said dead light.
Can you prove to us that there's something beyond this life? You touched the lights earlier when I asked you to, because I told you you were in a unique position to show people that these things actually can happen.
Sounded like a female. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but it sounded like it said he did. Or did.
What did he do? Did he take your choice away from you?
He died or something like that.
Can you still see us?
Hi,
Hello.
male voice.
Who are we speaking to? My name is Ryan, that's Dave. Just tell us your name so we know who we're talking to.
There was a male voice, I couldn't make it out. They're very hard to hear tonight. Oh, okay, I can't do it anymore.
All right. But we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. We were gonna stay a little longer, but I am going to have to go back to, ooh, EDI Plus is going off. We're gonna have to go back to our accommodations, and I'm gonna have to do some first aid on myself here. So, you all, thank you so much for watching. God, my arm is so damn sore. I can't even hold this camera.
Can't hold it.
All right, I'm gonna pass the camera off to Dave here. I can't even hold the camera up.
You guys, Ryan is falling apart on this one. Normally it's me, but welcome to the hot seat.
It's me this time. All right, so what I was gonna say is we wanna thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. We wanna thank you for leaving us a comment down below, letting us know what you think of the episode. All of you that are down there in the comments telling me that I'm an idiot for falling through the floor, you're right. And we wanna thank all of you for hitting that like button and sharing this video with your friends and family, because that helps us out more than you know. If you'd like to help us out additionally, keep us on the road, help this paranormal quest progress even more than that, you can become a member of our YouTube channel, or you can join our Patreon, where we have multiple perks, like getting the episodes and watching them almost a full day early, as well as behind the scenes pictures, behind the scenes videos, as well as an Instagram profile that is private and behind the scenes for all of those that join those specific tiers. But thank you all so much for watching. We're gonna go back to the hotel now, and I'm gonna go patch myself up. We'll see you next time. Much love. Take care.